I had been practicing already 12, 13 years. In 2001, we invited Patri Ra to Helsinki, and he came with the whole family. There was Saraswati and Sarat, and they all came, and we had a good time, 2 weeks of practice, and had a beautiful time in Helsinki. And we already went to Mysore and we practiced for a long time, and we learned how to do the poses and the vinyasa and the breathing and everything. But then in 2001, when we had two weeks of lead class with Patri Ra, we found with my friends and colleagues that okay, something was different. Something was not exactly how we did before, and also how these techniques were described in some other books. So there was quite many books already, but we couldn't find exactly the same what Patri Ra was teaching. So then it was 2003 when I asked from Patri Ra, can I interview you, and I'm planning to write a book about this vinyasa system. And I want to have it exactly like how you teach the lead class. So exactly same. Don't want to do how people do Mysore class or how they want to do the practice, but how you teach exactly. So he was okay, fine, we can do it. And if you come every day at 4, before half an hour before the registration starts, I can give you some good answers for the questions. So then we started. It was 2003. We started. I went every day, 4 o'clock. I interviewed. I had a recorder, and we went through the vinyasa system, the asana part, a little bit philosophy and some other things. And so next year I came back, 2004. There were some things what I had maybe had some mistakes or some misunderstandings. So we asked again about this. We went through again the vinyasa system. And in the beginning, when I started to write the book, I was following these books which were available at that time. And when I started to check in 2004 all these vinyasas what I wrote, I was like, okay, still I have so many mistakes, or maybe not mistakes, but it was still very different what I've had from from my practice and from the teachers and from the other books. And so in 2004 we went even more detailed to the details and checked that everything was exactly like that way. So then the book came out in 2005, and we did the pictures in New York, and there was Alexander Barry who did the photos, and he wanted to make, he was this good photographer, and he really wanted to make artistic pictures. He wanted it to have the book like coffee table book that people can open and the picture looks beautiful. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And I wanted to have this vinyasa system. So I wanted to have vinyasa system. He wanted to have the pictures. So it wasn't some guy who just took a picture, but he really wanted to make it good. So then it happens, and I think they really came out well. And but we take with the film, so we maybe took only 2 frames from one pose, and luckily they came out quite nice. And after this book came out in 2005, I started to think about the second book. Okay, now because the first is out, why not to do the second? So I got permission to interview him. Sarat was there in the office, and he was translating my questions to Patri Ra. And we went through the second series, Vinyasa, but not so much anymore philosophy and that. But I interviewed Patri Ra and Sarat and Saraswati also for the book. And this time we decided to also take pictures from all the vinyasas, every vinyasa between the pose, and then the main picture. So in the vinyasas we have the light behind my body, so it becomes like a silhouette, and in the main poses the light was in the front of my body, so it became this kind of colorful picture. So this way we made the silhouette in the back for the vinyasa, and then the main picture as a normal. Now in 2013, when Sarat came back to Helsinki, I did the second interview with him. So I have their 2007 interview with Sarat, and in 2013 interview with him. So these two books has the vinyasa system, how as well I understood it. And I went through so many videos and so many, I asked from many good teachers who also follow Patabi choice. There was Eddie Stern, Hamish Hendry, and many others, Noah Williams, and I asked from them like how you think is this vinyasa, because there was also lots of confusion. Some people wanted to do this way and some people wanted to do that way. Some people learned other than others. So I didn't care so much how people did in the 1970s or 80s. I wanted to know exactly how it was that time, 2004, 5 or 2006, 2007. So some of the techniques are maybe different than what people did in like 20 years earlier. But it's a document from that time. And now what Sarat is teaching, maybe there is again some little bit something has been changing. And of course, maybe I did some mistakes or misunderstandings, but I try to be very honest. I didn't write what I felt was the real vinyasa. I just did what he said. And then he also said that for these gazing points, Tristis, he said that you can use the same Tristis as what I have in Yoga Mala. So with the first book, I used the Tristis from Yoga Mala. There is more Brumadhya Tristis. And with the second series book, I didn't use the Yoga Mala Tristis, so there is more Nasakra Tristi than no-step Tristis. Yeah, the book came out well. I'm very happy. And the first book came out in English in 2013 in the springtime, and now the second series book is already translated in English and supposed to come out soon.